Hey everybody, Rob Veno, WagerTalk.com, WagerTalk TV, here with your Monday free selections with analysis. We're going to go to the NBA today, look at Sacramento at Indiana, and then after that we'll take a look at Boston at Memphis. Let's start with the Sacramento at Indiana game. Big game for both. Indiana opens here -4, 235, currently 5.5, and 234, I think I saw just before taping here. It had gone down as low as 233.5, bumped back up to 234. For Sacramento, it's a pretty clean injury report here. Nothing notable for the Kings. For Indiana, their backup shooting guard, Benedict Mathurin, and probably a little more than just a backup shooting guard because he's their sixth man. He's out with a calf injury. He did miss the last game against the Oklahoma City Thunder as well. Of course, center Isaiah Jackson out for the season, tore his Achilles about 10 days ago. Schedule-wise, let's take a look. The Kings had yesterday off. It's the second of a 6-game road trip. They did lose the opener on this road swing to Orlando by 30 points as a 1-point underdog, so not off to a good start for Sacramento. Indiana had yesterday off, traveled back to OKC where they lost as 9-point underdogs. It's the first of a 3-game homestand for Indiana, who, if they get by this, could actually get a little 3-0 because the next two are against Charlotte and Utah here at home. Matchup, let's take a look. The Kings are in the midst of a bad run, 1-5 straight up and against the spread, 0-3 as an underdog. Indiana, meanwhile, 3-1 against the spread in their last 4. 3 of those 4 went to the over as well. For the Kings, it's been a problem with turnovers recently. They're number 24 in points allowed off of turnovers in their last 10 games. And that could be problematic for them since the Pacers are averaging nearly 19 points per game off of turnovers. So you got a team that turns it over quite a bit. You got a team that scores off of turnovers. Not good for the road side here. Kings haven't been good defensively all season long, but out of the break, they showed a little sign of improvement. It's been back to the bad for the Kings as of late. They've allowed 119 plus in 8 of their last 11 games. They rank 25th in the NBA. Last 10 games in effective field goal percentage allowed, 60.5%. Meanwhile, Indiana continues to roll offensively, number 4 in points per game over the course of their last 10, number 4 in effective field goal percentage over their last 10. You can see the little bit of problem once again for Sacramento in this game. Last thing I'd say about this is Sacramento's real bad allowing paint touches, and Indiana thrives in the paint. Everything they do is derived around getting into the paint, whether it be kickouts, whether it be layups, whether it be the center getting under the rim and scoring. So tough spot here for Sacramento. Final look here, I would say this. Each team, as I mentioned earlier, is in a playoff position at this point. But I think for the Pacers, it becomes a little more necessary to win this game. It's at home, and they're trying to get that 4 spot in the Eastern Conference. Of course, the top 4 get home floor for Indiana. They're currently in that spot and would like to increase that lead over Detroit with only 8 left to play here. Sacramento sits in the very final play-in spot in the West. Kind of secure because Phoenix isn't posing much of a threat at number 11, so I give the edge to Indiana there. It's a major step down in defensive class for both of these teams. For the Kings, some of their offensive woes have been because they played 3 of the top 5 defenses in their last 4 games. That's tough. For Indiana, they just played OKC, number 1 defense in the NBA. For Sacramento, their last outing was their second worst point production of the season, only 91 points. I'm looking for a bounce back here against a mediocre Indiana team. And I just went over the Sacramento defensive numbers. Don't see any reason why Indiana doesn't get to 120 in this game. So we're going to play it over the 234. I think the line came down simply because of Benedict Mathurin. His absence means something, but not that much. So free play here in this game is going to be Sacramento and Indiana over 234. Before we get to the next game real quick, want to let you be aware of this special offer going on from WagerTalk right now. It involves Major League Baseball. You can get a 7-day pass. It's their opening day special. Get a 7-day pass for just $49. I've had a good start to the MLB season, 3-0 right out of the chute. Once again, you can get 7 days all-access pass. It would include any 5% blue chips that I release. $49 for 7 days of Major League Baseball. Let's go ahead and take a look at the second game here, Boston at Memphis. And boy, this is one you probably shouldn't overthink. One team's going really, really good. One team's going really, really bad. Quickly, we'll take a look at the injury report here for the Celtics. Jaylen Brown, questionable. Got a knee injury. It's been a nagging injury, but he has played the last 3 games. He didn't play the 3 prior to that. So it's, like I say, game time decision here with Jaylen Brown. I would expect that he tries to go here for Memphis. Brandon Clark, backup center, out for the season. Missed the last 4 games with a knee injury, but he's gone. Hurts Memphis inside a little bit. Schedule-wise, Boston had yesterday off. They travel from San Antonio. It's the 6th and final game of a 6-game road trip for the Celtics. Memphis had yesterday off. They played the Lakers here Saturday night in a 134-128 game where they lost. This is the front end of a back-to-back. They play Golden State right here tomorrow as well. This is a tough 3-game homestand for Memphis, right? You lose to the Lakers. Now you have Boston, and right on the heels of Boston, you're going to get Golden State that just scored 142 last night. Still, probably a slight advantage for Memphis because they just haven't had to travel. They stay at home. Matchup and situation here. Memphis been a disaster. Since the All-Star break, this team is 3-16-1 against the spread. 20 games, they've only covered 3. Not real good. 3-point defense, bottom 5 in the league during that stretch, and the defensive disparity between these two since the All-Star break is like night and day. Boston's number 2 in the NBA in defensive points allowed per game. Memphis has allowed over 14 points more per game than Boston over the course of that time span since the All-Star break occurred. The Grizzlies' main assets here, they stay the same. They've been the same all season long. Extreme tempo and points in the paint. Problem is Boston can go fast. They can also slow it up on you. And for the Grizzlies, Boston has been a great team at defending the paint. Number 4 in the NBA all season long. Tough matchup here for the Grizz. Boston's been a lockdown 3-point defense. Of course, we know they have great perimeter defenders on this team. Memphis doesn't shoot it well from there anyway, so it's hard to figure how Memphis is going to get to their season average of points here in this game. Their first game, Saturday, without head coach Taylor Jenkins, who got fired, they didn't really respond. They lose 134-127, as I mentioned, to the Lakers. It caused Memphis to fall out of the number 4 slot in the Western Conference seedings. They're now 5th and a game behind the LA Lakers. As I said earlier, it's probably a game you don't want to overthink too much here. The Celtics look like a team that's kicking it into high gear. They're 5-0 straight up on this road trip, looking to make it a perfect 6-0. They've made 98 3-point shots in the 5 games they've been on the road. It's almost 20 per game. Memphis has been a bottom feeder defending the 3 as of late, and they seem to be a team that's just in total disarray at this point. They've only been an underdog at home 5 times all season, but they're only 2-3 against the spread in those. I know they'll be motivated here, but you just have to ride Boston. At least in my opinion, you have to ride Boston the way they're playing right now. It just looks like they're shifting into high gear for playoff prep. They're laying 5. We're going to lay it with the Celtics here. That'll be your free play for this game, the Boston Celtics -5. On the way out, I'd like to ask everybody to hit the like button. If you like the selections and analysis provided here by WagerTalk handicappers each and every day, hit the like button, click subscribe, join the 197,000 plus people who already have subscribed to WagerTalk TV. If you have a comment on Boston, Memphis, on Indiana, Sacramento, or any NBA game tonight, please feel free to drop it in the comment section. I try to answer them as soon as I can. For now, this is Rob Veno saying good luck with all your plays. We'll talk to you soon on WagerTalk TV.